but are for sure and not supposed to be the same size as an NFL linebacker. Let's keep it real. Something interesting happened this week. I talked to a few people. They read my newsletter, they watch my videos, they've even reached out to work with me. And I found something very interesting, or I noticed something very interesting. They all completely understand what I'm saying. They've repeated what I've said. They understand where I'm going and what it is and what that means in their life. And so knowledge isn't the problem. The thing was is that they have such a tight grip on their fearful excuses that is what's stopping them. They lack the courage to take the first step. And I wanted to use today's video to speak directly to anyone who has such a tight grip on their fearful excuses that you have all of this information. It's not an information problem. It's a courage problem. Because when we talk, they could literally explain everything to me in detail. Like I know how what you're saying fits into my life in detail, verbatim from some of my newsletters that I've written, which are sent out every Saturday. The videos that I've been posting every single day here on YouTube, they can repeat some of the things and the steps verbatim, but they've disallowed themselves to take a move because they lack the courage. So we got to do something about that, because I can't have y'all out here with all this knowledge and scared to bust a move, because we're going to transform our life. That means we have to take action. Yes, we are going to revel in the fact that we have the creator on our side. We can manifest, we can attract, the things come to us easily. Remember, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. So we're going to do something in the physical world. We're going to do something. We're going to take some action. We're going to do something to get somewhere, because you are a high impact, high potential woman that's here to live rich on purpose. I'm talking about mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. And in order to do that, you have to do it with courage. You have to do it knowing you don't know everything. But most importantly, you just have to do it. Nike didn't choose that. What's that flying around? Nike didn't choose that slogan for no reason. It's 3 words: impactful, life changing, for a reason. I want us all to literally figure out how we're going to just do it. And I think I know exactly what you need. Let's get into the video. All right, so if you're new here, my name is Spivey J, and last year in 2025, I lost 50 pounds by following my habit architecture system that I created called the 100 Days 1U Challenge. And in that challenge, you essentially choose one habit that you're going to do consistently for 100 days. And what you get out of that is much more beyond whatever it is you thought. You're going to change in every which way: mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever it is you're after. I use it to lose weight, and then I continue to stack more habits throughout the year that led me to the total 50-pound weight loss and counting. And now I'm using that same system to build my dream life in other areas. If you're interested, the link is in the description. All right, back to today's video. A lot of people don't have an information problem anymore. We have a courage problem. So let's address that. Girl, what you doing? Have you subscribed? I truly appreciate it if you would. Go ahead and tap that button. It's just a little click, like, and share. I would truly appreciate it. All right, let's get back to the video. Every path forward that my clients talk to me about, it was, yeah, but it always ended in a, yeah, I get that, but, and I insert whatever actual excuse they may have. I'm not saying your excuses are invalid. I'm not invalidating your excuses, but what they are, whether valid or not, are excuses. They are barriers. They are things that are holding you back. We want to move forward. So that path forward requires all the barriers to be resolved. Go around, figure it out. Your situation is not the only one that's different. It's not the one that's the most complicated. You don't need more time. You don't need to wait till the next Monday. I really understand you're not ready yet. I was never ready for what I had signed up for. The readiness occurs when you make the decision. And no, it's not going to work exactly how you dreamed. It's going to work even better. But in order for you to know that, you have to start. It's a ton of bees flinging around me right now. Oh my goodness. I'm not scared, but I'm on alert. And look. Fear is normal. Your fearful excuses are normal. But just because something is normal and most people operate with them doesn't mean that you should all the time. You need to learn how to use fear for what it was made for, not for everything. Every meaningful thing I've ever done in my life had fear attached to it. I was scared as crap of everything. Everything that was outside of my comfort zone, I was afraid of. That doesn't mean I'm not going to do it just because I'm scared. Am I telling you to go jump out of a plane like I did for my birthday a couple years ago? Absolutely not, unless you want to. But I'm just using skydiving as the example right now. Like, I was screaming, okay? Screaming at myself. Why am I doing this? Top of my lungs. But I had the best person tandem dive with me, and I met him 20 minutes before I jumped out that plane. Is that crazy? According to my then 4-year old, yes, it made no sense why I attached myself to a stranger to jump out of a plane. But at that time, I wasn't thinking like that. Nonetheless, I digress. I'm just letting you know that I was scared. Okay? Fear was most definitely attached to that. But there's a difference between feeling fear and building a life that revolves around protecting your excuses. What I noticed is that with those conversations is they were holding on to their excuses like they were protecting something valuable. They were holding on to their fearful excuses like they were protecting something that if it was challenged, taken away, it would literally harm them. And I'm here to tell you that the life you're interested in the direction you want to go in, is on the other side of you unhanding those fearful excuses. You got to let it go. Let the excuses go so you can grow. Because your excuses cannot and will not build your future. It will only protect your comfort. It will be a nice little cozy blanket around you, making sure you stay comfortable, insulated, all of the things, all of the things, but it won't help you build your future. So, do you want to stay cozy or you want to get coasting? And the hard truth is, a lot of people say they want a bigger life. You are listening to transformation coaches. You are following the instructions. You are writing your notes. You want more in your life. You want a bigger life. I know you do. That's why you're still watching. You want that life without the cost of being uncomfortable getting there. And baby, it's a bumpy road, so buckle up. That deal doesn't exist. Sorry to tell you, that deal doesn't exist. At some point, you're going to have to loosen the grip so you can bust a move. Period. You're going to have to loosen the grip so you can bust a move. Because if you don't, you're going to stay where you are. You want to stay where you are? I think not. So let's move forward. So I'm guilty of old me a couple years ago, not even a couple years ago, like a year and a couple months, a year and some change ago. Guilty, consuming all of the personal development content, reading all of the personal development books, knew exactly what type of diet I was supposed to be eating, knew exactly what exercise I was supposed to be doing, but wasn't doing nothing but watching other people do it, sitting on my behind, inching closer and closer to almost 250 pounds. I am not tall. I am 5'5". I'm not short, but I for sure am not supposed to be the same size as an NFL linebacker. Let's keep it real. But I had all the information, but I wasn't doing nothing with it. Just trifling. I was being to myself. So, are you confused or are you just protecting your fear? I'm not saying what's going on in the world isn't happening. This is not the first time the crazies have been let loose. Violence was always their way of resolving issues, especially using the regular degulars to do their dirty work. It's unfortunate. It's just that now, more than ever before in the history of time, we have access to the knowledge. We have access to the ongoings. We are all now journalists and reporters instantly. We've never had this magnitude of information available to us instantly. But just as much of the information that we have available to us that is going to put more fear into us, we have just as much, if not more, loving, good quality information, wisdom, ways to just become more conscious, Christ like, if you will, whatever that means for you. We have just as much access. So what are you paying attention to? And you're allowing that to determine where you're going. I really don't like when people say the economy, if they have a roof over their head, if they're still going places, you're still putting gas in your car, you have somewhere to sleep, you literally are spending $13 on eggs. You're just saying that because you think that's the conversation that everyone wants to hear. There are people actually impacted by the prices of everything. But if you aren't, remove that. If you have access to the internet right now, you're laying cozy. You don't have any threats lingering right now. You are the 1%. I don't think people understand that. In this world, you are the 1%. The 1% are just not the people we think. It's you. It's you. Have you ever been on an airplane before? I think only like, oh, what's the percentage? Oh my god. Like a single digit percent. No, no, no. 85% of the world, which is like 6.5 billion people, have never been on an airplane. Are you serious right now? And you travel multiple times. You've traveled multiple times. You're still going on vacation. You just paid for a summer camp or a summer vacation with the economy that you complain. You sound tone deaf. Okay, I'm going to remove that because I don't want to be dismissive to what's going on, and I don't want to be tone deaf, but I do want everyone to realize that if you are sitting laying down right now in a cozy comfortable bed in a roof, you have food before you lay down or you about to get it when you get up, you are actually extremely blessed, okay? Point blank, period. So, there are people that have danger lingering where they sleep at night, where they go to school. Some people can't even go to school just because of their gender. I'm not saying what you're going through is invalid because other people have it worse. What I'm saying is, let's remove the excuses that really don't weigh much. Let's give ourselves an opportunity to win. I want you to give yourself an opportunity to win. I want you to give yourself a genuine opportunity to win. I want you to win because you are worthy of winning. Why are you negotiating with fear? Fear should not be on the other side of the table. You shouldn't be negotiating with it. Stop saying you don't want to make change if you don't want to make a move. You don't need more strategies. You don't need more inspiration. You don't need any more books. You don't need any more journal entries. What you need is the courage to say yes to yourself. What you need is the audacities of the version of you that's going to get it, despite whatever valid excuses you may have. So, that life you want, are you really about it? Or are you just going to let somebody get it while you watch from a distance, judging them? Are you really about that life? That life you want? I want to encourage at least one person. If I can just get one person to do and take action for a long enough time so that they can change their life like I am, like I have, and I continue to do. That's like a dream come true. You know? A lot of times people wanna I want a big dream, I wanna affect 1,000. Let me start off with one. I hope that is there one person watching this video who can make a comment down below that you maybe come back to in 100 days that decides it's a decision that you need to make. I know I'm going to continue to have conversations where the common theme is, but yeah, but for me it's, I know it. Fear is normal. We've just allowed it to take a higher role than it should. We've allowed it to determine our next actions, regret our past actions, and not make any current actions for our future. So I want you to ungrip the fearful excuses. You deserve so much more, and you are capable of so much more. And you're only going to be ready when you decide. And when you decide to step and get to the starting line, and that gun go off, or that sound clicks, or whatever happens at the starting line, and you just go. You don't care who's next to you. You don't care who the other versions of yourself were that couldn't get it done. You just go. You just keep going. You keep going no matter what your thoughts tell you to. No matter if you hear you should stop. It don't matter. You keep going because you had the courage to make the decision to start, and you maintain the courage to continue. And then at one point you may slow down and you look back and you see how far you've come. You'll see how far you have come, and you'll realize I literally changed my life. You will not go back. All you need is one win. You will not go back. Now, one win is waiting for you. It's waiting for you. It's on the other side of making that decision to start. Release, ungrip, unhand, pray against, no, pray for your courage. Okay? Believe in it by just doing it. You don't have to, you won't, you're not going to know everything. That's okay. That's okay. You're still going to pray for the courage. You're still going to journal about your courage as if you already have it because you're starting tomorrow, mañana. All right. I really want you to get and live rich on purpose. I'm talking about physically, spiritually, mentally, and financially. And if you are interested, and if this resonates with you, and if you are ready to stop making excuses and transform your life, master your mind, and get more fulfillment out of this life, I encourage you to subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, I thank you so kindly. I truly do. My name is Spivey J, and I hope you have a beautiful day. And also, I'm not ashy. All right. Peace.